Last thing here is, I think the Shopify site. So you don't need to build an insanely fancy and super custom site. In fact, in most cases, working with a big agency to build a custom site, if you're not well capitalized, is a huge mistake, because you have tons of things that come up down the road that you just can't fix easily.
Yeah.
If you're on a fully custom theme.
Yeah. Now,
if you work with an agency to do that, you want to make sure that the theme is very editable and templatized and easy to edit and make changes.
Yeah.
But, there's a ton of cases of people who come to Sharma Brands and they're like, well, we can't even add like an additional buy button on our product page because it's impossible to put in, or we can't easily change the text on our homepage and swap the banner because the way it was coded, it's like it's connected to something else and blah, blah, blah. The same thing happens with a lot of headless sites. I think a lot of the companies we see come to us who are headless are like, this is the biggest mistake we've ever made.
Really?
And they want to go right back to non-headless. But then a couple underrated apps, I think. So one is called Amped for email pop-ups. Have you ever heard of Amped?
No.
I think it's amp.io. I'm not involved in any way. I just met the guy actually recently, and he used to run an agency where all they did was email pop-ups for companies like Uggs and just like massive companies. And, the difference of a good email pop-up for a company that's doing, $500 million in revenue is a ton of money. He ended up taking all his best learnings and best practices and turned it into a software called Amped. And, I loved it as soon as I saw it, because it's basically like they help you make the best email pop-ups. And
is it full service, or is it like self-serve, like you build the pop-up?
It's quote unquote self-serve, but like if you were to message them and say, help me with my pop-up, like they have a whole design team. Like they did that for us.
And you think it's better than like Klaviyo pop-ups?
For sure. I've spent a decent amount of time in Klaviyo pop-ups.
Yeah.
They're not easy to build, and they don't work as easily, and the UI of the actual pop-up builder is not that great.
Yeah.
I started playing around with this. I messaged them through the support thing, like, can you help me build one out? They built me 4 variations, and now I can just use those as templates. And the greatest thing is the entire editor is basically like Figma. So it's like the same way you design in Figma or Webflow, it's the exact same editor here. And it goes live in one click, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is nice.
But nobody talks about this company.
Another one, or they're not new?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I think they have a decent amount of customers, so I don't think they're new, but maybe just not that well marketed.
Gotcha.
Another one that I recently discovered from Ryan, the Jolie founder, is Nostra, which does site speed. So they basically cache your site, and it loads instantaneously. I think the Jolie guy said his conversion rate jumped up like 20% as a result of just installing this. Which is great. Another one is for user identification. So with all the user identification challenges, Blackcrow has a smart ID product, which just passes data back to Shopify and Klaviyo. Facebook and Klaviyo.
So where do you need to be to use Blackcrow? Like, is it starting out?
I think you can use it when you start out. Okay. It's all usage-based pricing. Elevar is another company that does this same thing. In fact, they might actually do it across more channels, but I think it makes sense to use it from the get-go. Like, if you're spending money on ads, you might as well have the right data coming back into the platform.
Yeah.